Hey everyone, welcome back to Subculture on centralcoastradio.com. Now you may remember, and you may be hearing some background noise right now because I am on location, but you may remember last year I wrote, the Subculture team and myself wrote a play called The Journey, which was put on last Christmas for families. We made it a free event so that people could come along and just have a great day out. And there was balloon animals and stuff like that. Well, we had such a great response to that. You may remember that so many people turned up that unfortunately some people had to be outside and kind of peer through the door to see it. We decided this year to go all out with the journey. So yes, there is going to be a journey 2 or a journey part 2 that a lot of us are calling it, that we will hold this Christmas. We'll have more details about that later on. But I wanted to talk to you today about someone that's come on board to help us out. We've actually been sent a Casio PX-S6000 electronic piano. Now, the reason why we've got this from Casio is because this year we are going to make The Journey Part 2 a musical. Now, you remember last year we did have Christmas songs as part of the production, but they were kind of at the end so that the kids and everybody could sing along with some Christmas songs. This year, the story is actually going to make this a musical. So the characters in it, some of them will sing. We've already started working on casting and stuff like that for it. But of course, in order to be able to do a musical, you have to write songs. It becomes very, very expensive if you start to just use popular songs that are out there and things like that. And at the end of the day, we want this to be an event that we don't have to charge families for, but also any money raised on the day through food and drink and stuff like that can go to the Blessed Collective charity that Subculture supports. We didn't want to have to charge people or take away that money from a charity in order to put this event on. So we decided to team up with a good friend of ours, Paul, who many of you will know was part of last year's production. He looked after the musical side of stuff. Him and his beautiful wife Jen have decided that they're going to help us this year turn this into a musical. But in order for Harley, myself, Jen and Paul to be able to do this, we kind of needed our own instruments. Now, Jen and Paul have got a lot of instruments that they could use. But of course, for loyal listeners, you will know that we are currently trying to build an office studio kind of thing here in our home for Subculture as well. So in order for that to kind of happen, we needed our own instruments. And of course, with everything going on at the moment, that we couldn't afford to go out and get our own equipment. So being able to have this from Casio is absolutely amazing. Now, I sat down on the weekend because I've already started to work on a few of the tracks that I thought would fit for the musical. I've also been working on some tracks for our podcast and radio show. So I sat down with this Casio PX-S6000 on the weekend, and I've got to say, the sound that comes out of this thing is absolutely amazing. I actually recorded a few tracks and sent them to a friend, and his response was, "Whose piano are you using?" I wrote back to him and said, "What kind of piano do you think I am using?" And his response was a grand piano. That is how good the sound is. A lot of people say to me over the time that they'll go and see a performance or something, especially with like community theatre or a theatre production that hasn't got a huge budget, and they'll say the music sounded so electronic. Like the drum kit will be electronic, and it, despite what they say about electronic drum kits, they just do not get that same sound as a traditional drum kit. I find the same with a lot of electronic keyboards and electronic pianos. They just don't sound like they sound electronic. They don't sound like they're genuine. This one though, and it was really surprising because after I wrote down my notes about using it, I checked online. There was a lot of top musicians out there who have been using this and have said exactly the same thing. The keys are also very, very different as well. A lot of the times when you kind of play these, the electronic pianos, the keys are either too, I don't know the right word. They go down too quickly. Like they don't feel like you're playing a piano either. And I'm sure that affects the sound. This one has exactly the same reaction time, I feel, as a piano, as an actual piano. And the result is when you're playing it, you feel like you're playing a piano. So it is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to be able to get some of the other musos that we're working with around to actually use this as well, so that they can kind of get a feel for this. Now, that's the other point that I want to make about this as well. It is so portable. I've seen people over the years with keyboards and portable pianos, and they're still a struggle. They need to go and get somebody to come and help them lift it out of the car and stuff like that. I lifted this myself. If you want to have a look at that kind of stuff, go and have a look at our Insta, because we've got some videos up there of us using it, and also about lifting it and stuff like that. But it is so lightweight. I'm not going to say it's ultra light, because it is still a little bit heavy, but it's not to the point where you need to go and get somebody else to help you. You can lift this easily by yourself, which is going to be great for us because, of course, the space that we're using for the journey, we only get access to that, I think, about a week before the production. So all of our rehearsals have got to be done in a central place, especially now that we've brought other musicians on board. Whether or not that be Paul and Jen's house, whether that be the FBC offices that kindly let us use their stuff because it's close to the theatre space. It's just going to be really easy. The same even here in the Subculture offices. If I'm in the mood to write a song for a night, I can have it up in the office in the middle of the floor, and then by the next day I can have it packed up and moved away, so that we can use the office space for general office work or podcasting or broadcasting, whatever we're doing on that day. So there are so many things that make this Casio PX-S6000 such an awesome a product. It also looks brilliant. I'm looking at it right now, and it's just this beautiful piano black. I was looking at some the other day in a store, and it was like they had electric blue and like a purple and a pink, and it's like, that's okay. And I suppose that's okay if you're in kind of like a pop group or something like that, or you're in a kind of flashy kind of band. But if you're doing something serious like theatre and you want to be taken really, really seriously as a musician in that kind of space, you don't want to be showing up with a hot pink piano. So the fact that this is a beautiful black, and it's a beautiful traditional kind of piano black, just makes this absolutely perfect for anybody working in the theatre space. Again, like I said, the other great thing about having this for theatre is that it's so easy to move. If you're setting up for theatre and then all of a sudden the director decides that no, he wants the musicians in a different area or something like that, it's easy to move. The same if you've got a rise. I was at a production recently at the same venue where we're doing the Journey Part 2, and they had the band up on a rise, and we were thinking, hey, maybe that might work for us, because one of the problems that we had last year was we realized that once the seats and everything were put together, we didn't have the space that we thought we were going to have for the stage. So as a result, the musos were kind of like put away into a corner, and I kind of felt really bad about that. So we thought it would be really awesome maybe this year to have a rise. But of course, if you're going to have a rise, you've got to start to take weight into accountability now, into consideration, sorry. So if you've got a lot of heavy equipment, it soon starts to limit how many people you can have up on that rise. The fact that this is so light means that we don't have to have an actual piano, because this will get the sound of the actual piano. So that immediately means that we've got a lot more weight that we can put up onto the rise. So if we want to have extra singers, or we want to have a couple of extra guitarists, that works, because this is so small as well. Like, this is basically the size of a regular keyboard. People might be listening and thinking, well, if it sounds like an actual piano, how big is it? It's the size of a keyboard. So anything like that for theater, where space is really, really important, and weight, this is absolutely perfect. So I am so glad that we have got one of these Casio PX-S6000s to use for this production. We're going to use this, I know, for years and years to come on all of our productions and stuff that we're doing. So stay tuned on all of our socials, because we're going to take you on this journey with us with this production. And we want you all to come along to this production at the end of the year, but we want to take you on a journey with this. So add us on Discord, add us on Insta, add us on Facebook, basically whatever social media you can think of. We're actually going to do something very, very special too in the coming months. I don't have a date for it yet, because we're still in the planning stages of it, but we are going to set up a Subculture Patreon. So there'll be a ton of videos and everything that go up on there. There will be some that go up on social media, but we really, really want to make this something that's exclusive for our fans, this journey. So we are going to set up a Patreon and take you all on this journey, literally, with the journey part 2. So there'll be sneak peeks up there of songs as we write them. There'll be days where Paul and I are working together on tracks, so we might just like record little snippets of it and put that up there as well. So stay tuned to our Facebook and Insta pages and that, and you'll see when our Patreon is launched. But look, I've got to give this a 5 out of 5. This Casio PX-S6000. If you're in the market looking for an electronic piano that sounds like a piano and is so versatile that you can take it anywhere, this is the electronic piano for you, because this is absolutely amazing. Stay with us on this journey. Keep listening to Subculture. Stay on our socials, and you will see just how this amazing piece of equipment is going to turn into... It's going to help us create an absolutely amazing family event that's going to be for families this Christmas, and also raising money for charity. So stay tuned.